Hi, this is a gloss chapter. I'm not telling the story right now. I stopped. I'm about to introduce the character of Wedge, and I want to give that a day's thought at the very least before I do it, because he's a major character, although he doesn't appear very much. Uh, so I thought, hey, I'll pause because there's a few things I can say by way of discussing what's going on. One, this is hard to do. This is harder to do than I thought it was going to be. I know the story really well, and I can tell the story. If I had actually physically people, or even one person sitting right here in the room with me that was responding and asking questions if I had something wrong or if something didn't quite fit together, that would make it so much easier, because it would be so much more natural in a way. You know, speaking like this into the camera, where any feedback that I get is going to come later. That's hard, and I'm afraid that I'm going to forget something that's important. And you know, if I do, I can go back. That I would have no problem with that. The other thing I'm afraid of is that I tell this part of the story over again, repeat myself. You know, I think if I had an audience right here or someone listening, they'd say, "Oh yeah, you told us that already." That would be wonderful. So anyway, this is hard. So I get, I get no immediate questions or comments. If I had a teleprompter, that would be so much easier, because it would keep me going in the order that I knew I needed to go to tell the story well. But it would make it wouldn't be nearly as real. I mean, I want to tell the story, and I'm a handicap too, is that I don't memorize very well. Boy, like memorizing a speech in a play, I just don't tend to do that. Now, I wouldn't want to memorize the story, the words, but I don't need to memorize the story because I know it already. Well, anyway, it's hard. I'm continuing to put in literary allusions, and I could go back and tell you about some of them, but somehow I don't. I think if I get a question, like if somebody says, "Well, why did you mention that Bob Dylan song?" I'd be happy to answer a question like that if somebody were to ask it. But other than that, I think the illusions, if they work, they'll kind of tickle a person because they pick it up. If they don't work, that would maybe be not so good that I would have done it at all. So, but they're there. There are literary allusions. There's quite a few of them there. You can almost count on the idea that if there's a proper noun in there, a name, I've got some reason why I'm using that name. And I think finally, I question whether I'm going too fast or too slow for the listener, if he or she is an interested listener and being kind and willing to put up if there's a little bit boring here and there. Am I going too fast? I might be. I really don't know. For my own sake, I could go faster, but I think this is between 5 and 10 minutes is a comfortable speed for me. The very last one that I did was shorter than that, and Wayne Frost commented on it. He noticed it. Another thing that's going to happen is eventually the phone's going to ring upstairs, and and if it was just, I'll probably just let it ring if no one answers it. But I could take it off the hook, but I would hate to have to do a whole chapter over because of that. So I'll probably just edit it in a kind of an awkward place so I don't lose everything before. All right, I expect that tomorrow I'll go on with the story. Bye for now.